Assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
What's that grin about?
I just took a load off my staff by hiring Fresh Start Cleaning Services.
How'd you manage that?
Fresh Start Cleaning Services allows our team to leave at the end of their shift and not have to stay and clean after a double. They're happy, and you should see the difference having a professional cleaner makes. Plus, now I know exactly how much the cleaning cost will be for the year.
Wow, that would make anyone smile.
You can call Fresh Start Cleaning Services at 850-771-6057.
Imagine a world where no child goes to bed hungry.
We do, every day. It's a beautiful place.
But right now, families are struggling, and too many children don't have enough to eat.
So we're called to help them, to bring them food, resources, and hope.
To support families today so they can build a better tomorrow for their children.
To do this, we connect people. People like you, who can do so much for the most vulnerable children across this country and around the world.
If we work together and seize this moment, we won't have to just imagine that beautiful place.
We can create a world where no child goes to bed hungry.
Feedthechildren.org.
Infectious diseases spread by pests like malaria, Zika, and Chagas disease are causing a worldwide health crisis. Fortunately, here at home, we don't face the same level of threat, but we shouldn't let our guard down. Mosquito-borne diseases like West Nile virus and Zika are impacting communities across the U.S., and Lyme disease spread by ticks is on the rise. Whether around the world or just around the block, get the facts you need to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WPLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida. Welcome to the house. It's time for the Afternoon Underdogs.
It's happening.
Wow.
It's on right now.
Opinionated and unfiltered. The hot takes, the rants, and the sports talk you crave.
Give it to me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
What's going on, Northwest Florida? You're now riding with the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City, 102.1 in Mariana, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. I'm David Hayes along with Drew Gorman. We'll have Amanda Muller, the Assistant General Manager of Dave & Buster's, with us here shortly. Jack Patterson's out here hanging out. He's got tickets for Wrestling Against Cancer number 8. If you come out today, you can save $1. So that means, Jack, that tickets will be $11 today if they come out and get them today. He's got the tickets on hand, and all proceeds, I want to push this across clearly. All proceeds go to benefit Donna Duncan, who is dealing with her own battle of cancer, and that's why this event is called Wrestling Against Cancer. It is the 8th installment. Jack started with his sister, and now he is on the 8th installment of Wrestling Against Cancer. There's going to be a ton of great matches. I'm going to be doing the ring announcing there Saturday, not this Saturday, but Saturday, April 29th. Doors are going to be opening at 5:30. The bell time at 6:30. Tickets right now are $12. Ages 6 to 15 get in for $8. 5 and under get in for free. We've got more info for you over at ESPNPC.com, or you can search Facebook for Wrestling Against Cancer. Again, all the proceeds here benefit Donna Duncan. We also have a chance for you to win a pair of passes. You can just text the keyword tickets to 850-215-6290. You can also text that same number throughout the show today, and I will be able to see those. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Again, this is ESPN Northwest Florida. Happy birthday to our good friend Chef Ross. Hope you enjoy it, my man. All right, the Lightning last night beat the Maple Leafs in a 7-3 rout last night. Game 1 of the series. The question heading into that series was, will the Tampa Bay Lightning be able to flip that switch? We saw them in March kind of struggling, but again, and here's something that even as a Lightning fan, I didn't even really realize. Vasilevsky wasn't playing the majority of the games down the stretch. We've known, the Tampa Bay Lightning rather, have known who their opponent is going to be in the playoffs for 2 months now, if not 2 months, a month. But that's a long time to know. Going into the postseason, who your opponent is going to be gives you plenty to plan. Oh, and by the way, this time last year in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, who was the Tampa Bay Lightning's opponent? None other than the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is another strong reason why they need to get rid of division versus division, 1 through 3, and then you add the wild card, and same for each and every division. No, we need to go East Conference, West Conference, 1 through 8. Don't punish these teams who had a good regular season. You are making the regular season at that point null and void. But that is, at this point in time, neither here nor there. The question was answered last night, and the Tampa Bay Lightning did flip the switch. They had 2 goals in the first 8 minutes, one by Belmar in the first minute and 18 seconds, and then 2.6 seconds left in the first period. Kucherov goes on and makes it a 3-0 deficit for the Toronto Maple Leafs. In the second period, that's where things change up a little bit. The Toronto Maple Leafs stormed back. It goes to 3-2, and you're sitting there, okay, now Toronto has answered the bell. What will the Tampa Bay Lightning do from this point forward? They scored goals from that point forward. Now, a lot of that has to do with the officiating. The second period might have been one of the wonkiest, wildest second periods that I've ever seen. A lot of calls that were made that might have not been called. And on the flip side of that, there was a lot of calls that were called that should have been called. And it was wild with bunting. You saw Chernak take a elbow to the face, and so that was a match penalty for bunting, which means he's removed from the game. And on top of that, they get a 5-minute major penalty. And you say, oh, well, Dave, I don't really know about hockey. What's the difference in a minor and a major penalty? Well, in a minor penalty, you get 2 minutes, and if you score within that 2 minutes, the guy comes out of the box. So it's back to full strength at that point. With a major penalty, doesn't matter how many times they score, you get 5 minutes up there. You get 5 minutes for that penalty, and it doesn't matter how many times you scored. I believe they scored twice on that major power play, and to make matters worse, on the goal that they did score, Toronto challenges for goaltender interference. What happens in the NHL when you miss a challenge? Oh, you get a 2-minute penalty. So that made it 5-on-3, but the Toronto Maple Leafs did hold on and not allow a goal for the rest of the period and for the power play for that matter. Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong about that, because Braden Point put a goal in the second period with a 1/10 of a second. If you thought 2.6 seconds was impressive, well, Braden Point says, hold my brew, watch this, and he puts it in with a 1/10 of a second. That was a lot of fun, man. So the Lightning did flip the switch, but the ball is back in the court of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They will host game number 2. Hedman's going to be a game time decision. Eric Chernak is going to be out, as well as Isamont, who was a trade deadline. They got Isamont at the trade deadline. So he will be also missing for game number 2. The difference is when you miss these guys, when you lose these guys in the middle of the game, as you did Hedman, Chernak, and Isamont, well, how many defensemen do you carry with you in the sport of hockey? You got 6, sometimes 7, depending on how you built that roster up. But last night, the Tampa Bay Lightning had 6. They were down 2 of their top defensemen, which leaves them with 4 defensemen for the majority of the second. Well, not the majority of the second, for all of the third period, and for the last 4 or 5 minutes of the second period. So very interesting that John Cooper was able to get his combat. I guess it made the job easier, right? Because you're not having to call line 1, 2, or 3 for the D-man. It's just at that point, hey, 1, 2, maybe we'll mix it up a little bit. But when you have a 6-3 lead, or 6-2 lead rather, going into that third period, it definitely takes some of the pressure off of your D-men. So that was a lot of fun last night. If you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, that is. If you're a Toronto Toronto fan, they went in with so much, I don't want to say pressure, excitement. They were like, this feels different than last year, until a minute and 18 seconds in, and then it's like, daggum, are we going to watch a repeat of what we saw last year?
Well, it's not even just last year. Doing a little light reading, I'll go back to that here in a second. But whenever you were talking about with the penalties, doing a little light reading on the ESPN app here, we've got John Tavares on here basically saying those penalty calls are borderline.
Yeah,
more than likely going to probably go their way. They've been to the finals 3 times in a row.
As they should.
We have to just be extremely disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
So, and on top of that, right here it says the Maple Leafs have lost 7 straight series dating back to 2013, including 6 in a row with the talented core led by Matthews, Marner, and Nylander, which is absolutely that you can lose 7 straight series, especially with those 3 guys at your core.
Big names in the world of hockey, yes.
Exactly. Getting to that point. And like you said, they lost to them last year. So they needed a game. They needed to win game 1 to kind of get over that hump, in my opinion.
I agree with you. It's odd, too, because as the road team, like your job as the road team in the first round or any round of any playoffs, I don't care if it's Stanley Cup, NBA, MLB, your job when you go on the road is to win 1 of 2.
Yeah.
You want to win 1 of 2. And so the Tampa Bay Lightning did that, but with the track record of the Toronto Maple Leafs, I agree with you. Like that game 1 was a little bit more big, or it was bigger.
It was bigger
for the Toronto Maple Leafs, just because the crowd, and now they're going to be coming back Thursday, and there's going to be that second thought in the back of their head. So it will be interesting. Again, Hedman, Chernak, Isamont all leaving that game with injuries. Hedman, you can make the argument best defenseman in the league over the last 5, 6, 7 years even. Chernak up there with him. Chernak, Isamont definitely out. Victor Hedman, game time decision. The Lightning are going to need him. You're not going to score 7 goals each and every game. You're not even they went 4 of 8. 4 of the 7 goals that they scored last night were with the man advantage. So you have to watch out for that. And again, Vasi last night, 28 saves in his 100th career playoff game. So, hey, when you've got a goalie like Andrei Vasilevsky, things can roll in your favor, but you got to take advantage of that. And the big thing, what I like about Vasilevsky not playing for that last month and a half stretch for the most part, Brian Elliott, the backup goalie, minding the net at that point. What I like about that is, what does that do? That strengthens your defense, because now they're working even harder in front of the net, and that provides a layer of cushion, of comfortability for your goaltender. In the rest of the second half of the games in the first round last night, the New York Rangers blowing out the New Jersey Devils 5-1 to take a 1-0 series lead. Winnipeg, I don't know if this is surprising or not. I think that this is more of an evenly matched series, but Winnipeg taking down the Vegas Golden Knights 5-1. In that game, Morgan Barron took a skate to the face, got 75 stitches, and this is the difference in hockey and every other sport. 75 stitches to the face, and where does he finish the game?
On the ice.
On the ice. Now, yes, he gets a mask. It's not even a visor. It was a full covered mask, but that is the difference in hockey. Crazy. Last night, I was telling you this. Let me wrap this up real quick here. The Seattle Kraken, a team that I'm not going to say that I pull for. I don't pull for them, but they've got an ex-Tampa Bay Lightning player in Yanni Gourde, so it makes it easy to want to see them go further into the playoffs for the Stanley Cup. Last night, their first playoff game, they get their first playoff win against none other than the Colorado Avalanche, which, do you know what the Colorado Avalanche did last year?
They came away with the win.
They won the Stanley Cup. They were the best in the league last year, beating Tampa in a 6-game series last year. Their first playoff win, 3-1 over the defending Cup winners in Colorado. It was the 7th road team to win their debut, the 3rd road team to beat the Stanley Cup winner, and they also broke the streak that Colorado Avalanche had in Game 1s, a streak of 6 games. So in Game 1s, 6 times in a row, the Colorado Avalanche have won. Now, what has that done For the in the long term, not a whole lot because they've only got the one Stanley Cup, but still, that's a very impressive feat. We're on the radio 104.3 in Panama City, 102.1 in Marietta, and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. We're also streaming live on Facebook. We have a still up there, so you can't necessarily see what's going on, but if you would like to know what's going on, come out here to the patio, Dave and Buster's, and hang out with us. We're out here at Pier Park. We're right next to the Skywheel. We're on the patio of Dave and Buster's. If you come up and you give us the code word today of wrestling, the code word is wrestling, you're going to get a $10 Dave & Buster's Power Play card that you can use to go inside and play some games on a Wednesday, which, Drew, what's going on Dave & Buster's on Wednesdays?
Half-price games, half-price drinks, half-price food?
Cocktails.
Yeah,
so, I mean, you come out right now, it's happy hour from 4 to 7. So that's, let alone that Wednesday already off rip is half-price games. But right now, it's happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m., which gets you half-price drinks.
Well, do I get extra points if I get someone to say wrestling?
Yeah. You get a dime.
A dime. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
That'll get me a game.
That'll get you a game. Hey, we'll figure it out, man. I'm sure we can pull some strings around here. I saw that piano game in there earlier. It's the Grand Keys. Yeah. Have you played it before?
I haven't played it on the big screen. I played it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Played it on my phone because I got to get down with the piano.
Yeah.
But it's on the big screen it's crazy because you're literally looking from side to side, eyeballs going, head going side to side, being able to hit all the buttons.
Yeah. So last night I turned on the Suns Clippers game. So for context here, I've got 3 TVs in the living room that I have to move in and out because my fiance is not extremely happy with that. But I do have one mounted above, like the regular TV TV in the living room. So I have that one. That one stays there. Then I have to bring in and out this little 32-inch. I need to get another one on the other side of it to make her that much more happy. But anyways, I've got the Braves on the lower left. I've got the Kraken and the Avalanche on the middle TV, and on the top TV, I've got the Suns and the Clippers. So what I was doing is I was trying to keep my eye on the Suns and Clippers games outside of the Braves. Like that caught my eye the most. But after that game was ending, because Ozzie and Matt Olson just went ham in the 8th and the 9th inning with 3-run home runs apiece there, so that kind of broke the game open. So I'm trying to watch Kawhi. I'm trying to watch Kevin Durant, that whole episode, if you will. But every time there is a foul, where do my eyes go? Where the content is happening, which is hockey. And then my eyes aren't leaving hockey until they're kind of done. So I didn't get to watch a ton, or at least feel like I took in a bunch of the Suns-Clippers game last night. But the Clippers did, the Suns rather, even up the series with the Clippers. 123-109 win for them. Chris Paul had lost 13 games in a row that were refereed by Scott Foster, and last night he finally takes the straw off the camel's back, if you will, gets the W. So that is good for that series. Now, obviously, you say, would things be different if Paul George were in the lineup? Yes, I agree they would be somewhat different, but that just makes for a great series. It doesn't matter what's happening with Paul George right now because he's out for the entirety of the first round. So that is neither here nor there, but this is a series that you got to have your eyes on if you're a fan of sports.
Definitely, like with all the star power that's up there and all the storylines behind it all. And one of the craziest things my favorite thing that happened in the whole game was a little 2-second excerpt from the whole thing, and it happened after the game was over because everybody was shaking hands, everybody saying good game, whatever, doing their after post game talking. Well, then you see Kawhi Leonard walking this way, and you see Chris Paul walking this way. Neither one of them stop. Neither one of them look at each other. Neither one of them say a word. They just bump shoulders and all business. That just describes them both to a T.
Yeah.
In the game, it's the game in between the game. They are both fierce competitors, not showing any love, but I guarantee you, as soon as a team wins, they will both show love to each other.
And that kind of takes us to Draymond Green and Domantas Sabonis, right? Because I imagine that after this series is over, both of those guys link up with each other and be like, no hard feelings. We were playing a game with a lot of emotions inside of that game. Draymond Green can sit there and say, I'm that villainous type player. Now, will that cost Draymond Green? It's already costed him one game, and that will be Game 3 tomorrow night with the Warriors looking down they're down right now 2-0 to the Sacramento Kings, and they're going to be losing their most valuable player on the defensive side of the ball in Draymond Green. If they lose Game 3, it's very likely that the Kings move on, but is Draymond Green, will the Warriors move on from Draymond Green? What do you think on that, Drew?
I think it would be tough to move on from them, but this definitely gives ammo to the gun for them to be able to move on, because it's turning more into a headache. Because I was listening on the way over here, and if you look at the reaction from the team, just take Klay Thompson, for instance. As everything's going down, as everything's happening, as the refs are trying to figure everything out, Klay Thompson's sitting over there on the bench acting like nothing's happening. Yeah. He's just taking a drink of water. He's sitting there just kind of hanging out like, okay, Draymond did something stupid. All right, let's see how it plays out.
One. I've seen this one in practice before.
Exactly. So to me, it will definitely be hard to move on from him because he's such a fan favorite. And I saw it firsthand in a game that you said the villainous attitude that he brings to the game. I saw it firsthand in a game that I was watching. It was like a Sunday afternoon. I was watching the Pelicans and the Warriors. We were playing at the Warriors. And as a Pelicans fan, we went up pretty handily. We were up by 15, 20 points for most of the game, and then all of a sudden in the third, they just looked out of sorts. Then all of a sudden in the third quarter, Draymond has a couple chippy words with Brandon Ingram and Valanciunas and Trey Murphy, has a couple chippy words, hangs out, gets teed up. All of a sudden the Warriors just flip that switch in their head and turn it on.
Yeah.
But talking about the series, I think we all got it wrong. Everybody's expecting the Warriors. Everyone's
expecting Golden State to be the Warriors.
Exactly. This series is showing us how old the Warriors are, because
that nucleus, that core.
Mm-hmm. And with De'Aaron Fox being as young as he is, dude is just long, lanky, and quick.
Yeah.
And then you've got Sabonis. Davion Mitchell is guarding Steph about as good as anybody has in previous years.
All up in the jersey.
A la Matthew Dellavedova from back in
who's now sitting on the same bench as Steph Curry.
That's the craziest thing. But, I mean, this series is definitely showing how old the Warriors are.
Yeah, and it might be time to kind of blow that nucleus up. And it also, forgive me for saying this, but it also kind of shows, like, look at this run that Steph Curry's been on, right? And he's entered his name into, for some people to utilize him as one of the greatest, right? I'm not going to do that. I even went as crazy as to, after winning the championship last year, to say maybe he's top 5. I've kind of backed off of that. I think he's a great player. He's changed the game, but there's been other players that have changed the game. Mm-hmm. The difference is, to me, what I'm seeing now is, look how great LeBron James is, right? To be playing at this level. And I'm a guy who every 10 out of 10 times I'm picking Michael Jordan over LeBron. Mm-hmm. But still, you can't take away from what LeBron brings to any roster that he's on. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. The Celtics take Game 2, so now they're up 2-0 over the Hawks. Last night, the game was 119 to 106. You also had the Suns and the Clippers. Phoenix winning that game 123 to 109, and then Cleveland tying the series with the New York Knicks last night 107 to 90. Tonight you got the Lakers at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are a 1-point underdog. Ja Morant should be playing in that game. He at the Bucks tonight. Bucks are a 6.5-point favorite. When I found this number, the 6.5 favorite that is the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis was doubtful. Now he's been upgraded to questionable. So there's that. I wouldn't be surprised if I get on ESPN.com and check. that those odds have changed slightly, or that spread has changed slightly. And then the Nuggets are an 8.5-point favorite at the house tonight against the Timberwolves. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're the Afternoon Underdogs. Quick timeout. We're going to be right back. Y'all come out here and see Jack. He's got tickets for Wrestling Against Cancer 8. A little bit more on that here at 440.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge.
Hi, this is Jenny Dennis from Panama City, and I just won $500 from Panama City Toyota in the ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge.
Three-pointer, punch it in! The ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge is sponsored by Panama City Toyota, PCB Hobby, and Buffalo Rock.
My forecast overnight, mostly clear, light winds, temperatures at near 60. The high-pressure ridge is going to support some nice weather for Thursday and Friday. It'll be mostly sunny each day, light breezes, and the high temperature Thursday and Friday near 80. There will be an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Me and my I Do crew have 50 years experience, and we have more certified diamonds in stock at the best prices in town. So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, come see me, your diamond girl, and my I Do crew at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, because we don't work on commissions. We work for smiles and I Do's.
It's go time all the time. Sports talk around the clock.
Oh my gosh!
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City, 102.1 in Mariana, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. I'm David Hayes, along with Drew Gorman, the Gormanator, and Jack Patterson is out here promoting Wrestling Against Cancer 8. Man, this is a huge event for Donna Duncan. You guys come out. We've got tickets today for $11. Normally, they're $12. Come out today. Proceeds all benefit Donna Duncan, who's dealing with her own bout of cancer right now. And that's entirely what this show is for. And that's why it's called Wrestling Against Cancer 8. So we've got tickets up here. Whether or not you're going to come, the $11 is going to go to Donna Duncan. So come up here, see Jack. He's got the Wrestling Against Cancer Championship belt right now. You can come take a picture with it. I'm sure Jack wouldn't care if you take a picture with it. It would be awesome. It's $11 for a ticket. You can come out there. We're going to be at Bay Haven Charter Academy. It's going to be a great time. There's going to be lots of great matches. I'm talking Chuck Diamond, Fool Nelson, Silas Brown, Frederick Yeager, and exciting women's wrestling with Emily Locks and more. We've got more info for you at ESPNPC.com, or you can search Facebook for Wrestling Against Cancer 8. We're going to have Jack Patterson right here on the air with us at 4:40, talking a little bit more about Wrestling Against Cancer. We'll also give you our Braves update and what else is going on in the world of Major League Baseball today at 4:40. 5 o'clock, we're going to get into our, as we always do, or since we started last week, our Would You Rather on Wednesdays, a little start bench cut action coming at you at 5:20. I have my buddy Terry Ross hit me up with some start bench cuts today, and then we'll get into our local high school sports spotlight today at 5:40. Ohtani or Judge, Yankees and the Angels are playing a series right now up in the great state of New York. 100 years ago, yesterday, Babe Ruth hit a home run in the house that he built, Old Yankee Stadium, on opening day. And then last night, Shohei Ohtani hit a home run in the first inning with a velocity and exit velo of 116.7 miles an hour. He also stole a base, which gave him his 15th career game with a home run and a stolen base. You know what the irony of? The irony of all of this is that I had no intentions of doing this segment today. I actually had it planned for yesterday. It didn't happen. I go home. I'm on Amazon Prime. I'm checking out which documentaries what documentary I want to watch, because I love watching sports documentaries when I'm going to bed. And then, the next night I'll catch up wherever I fell asleep and finish it off. The documentary that I watched last night, not the greatest that I've ever watched, but it was on Babe Ruth, and I just thought it was interesting. They were talking about how old Yankee Stadium was built, and basically it was on the back of Babe Ruth because he was putting tails in the seats. Anyways, it was just ironic that I ended up watching a documentary about Babe Ruth, and then here we are talking about Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. So the tail of the tape, if you will, the longest home run for Aaron Judge is 496 feet. That's a long daggum way. For Ohtani, I mean, we're talking about a two-way player here. Ohtani's longest home run is 470 foot. We're giving you a little action of the UFC right now with the tail of the tape. The hardest hit home run, Aaron Judge has a exit velo of 121.1 miles an hour. For Ohtani, it's 118 miles an hour. The hardest hit batted ball, Judge, 121.1 miles an hour, and for Shohei, it was 119.1 miles an hour. The average home run distance for Ohtani, actually a little bit further here than Aaron Judge, 411 feet. For Aaron Judge, his average home run distance is 407 feet. Not too shabby, especially when you consider the two-way player that is Shohei Ohtani. But still, for Aaron Judge, is he on that precipice, in your opinion, and we'll talk more about this at 5:20 and some start bench cut, but is he on that precipice of overtaking Aaron Judge as the best one-way player in the game of baseball?
That's tough. That's a tough question. I love Ohtani, and he makes it hard to pull against him. As an Astros fan, it makes him being a rival of his team makes it very hard for me not to like him. But I mean, Judge still is. I did not think he had another year in him like he did last year, but he's starting off real nice. So he's definitely Ohtani is definitely working his way there to approach Judge, but I think Judge still edges him out by the nose of his car.
Yeah.
Since we're if you're throwing in tail of the tape with wrestling, I'm going to throw in edging out by the nose of their car with NASCAR.
Yeah, Aaron Judge to this point in the season has a batting average of 271 and 5 home runs to go along with that. Not to mention 2 stolen bases. That ain't too bad. That's not too bad at all.
That's crazy
right there.
From a 6'7" guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
And that's one of the underrated things about Shohei Ohtani, in my opinion, is the speed that he possesses, because it gets overlooked. You're talking about a guy who pitches every 5-6 days. You're talking about a guy who's a designated hitter, but it gets lost on people when he steals a base, and then a throwing error occurs, and he takes advantage of that in the correct way and scoots on down to third base.
And it's crazy on top of that that the coaches are even sending him, because what happens if he slides wrong? You lose a hitter and a pitcher. What happens? It's there's so many things that can go wrong, but it's crazy. Knocking on wood here, but it's crazy that nothing has seriously happened.
And not only do you lose a hitter and a pitcher, but you don't gain a roster spot, because he's one guy doing both of those things. So that affects your roster in a totally different way than any other team in Major League Baseball can deal with.
Yeah, it's definitely scary from a manager's and a GM's perspective. And I think that's why it's going to be so hard to, if the Angels start taking a back seat here in the standings. That's why it's going to be so hard for multiple teams to try and go after him, because you've got, number one, you've got to give up so much, and number two, do you want that headache of trying to figure out, okay, when do I pitch him? Do I pitch him? Do I do this? Do I do that? There are so many ways you can get second-guessed.
And Judge winning the 2022 AL MVP. Who was the 2021 AL MVP? Ohtani was, exactly. So Judge wins last year basically on his offense. Basically, let's just keep it honest. Let's keep it 100 here. Let's
63.
keep it a buck. Yeah, it was 62 home runs, right?
I think it was 62.
Yeah, 62
I said
home runs.
63.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
62.
62 home runs, basically winning that award on that. But he's also had the upper hand kind of in that particular department. Judge's career of here's his slash line, 284, OBP of 394, and then slugging at 583. And then you add the 163 OPS, which is just absolutely amazing. Ohtani, his career though, 268, OBP of 355, and then slugging at 531, 139 OPS. And Judge has also out-homered Ohtani 225 to 130, but Aaron Judge has played in 150 more games where he is getting at-bats, whereas Ohtani plays in games and he doesn't get at-bats.
And the craziest part is, like, what was the big thing surrounding Judge whenever he came in? He was a great talent, great power hitter, but everybody was like, oh, well, he's 6'7", he'll never last. You throw him a low fastball, he'll never be able to get to it. What has he done since then? Nothing but tattoo him.
Show you're wrong. Since 2021, Aaron Judge ranks first in the majors with 184 barrels. His average exit velocity of 95.8 miles an hour is the highest among players who have 500 batted balls over that period, which is another thing. It's just like he's barreling balls at a better rate than what most other players are even getting. You know what I mean? On base, it feels like.
And it's crazy because they had the Twin Tower. They still have the Twin Towers per se with
Judge and Stanton.
Yeah, with
Stanton's out for 6 weeks now.
Well, whenever they brought him over, they thought he was going to be that 50-plus home run guy that they got from Miami. And they were going to pair them two next to each other in the outfield, and it was going to be just handy-dandy, just whip them out there, and they're going to be great and hit 50-plus home runs, the both of them. Giancarlo really hasn't panned out from that. He's had good years, but he's not been Miami Marlin Giancarlo Stanton.
If he was 162 game healthy, though, he's better than Miami Stanton. But at that point, what's the best the best ability is availability.
And the craziest thing is how remarkably healthy and good consistently Judge has been. He's doing things that most people 6'7", most people in general can't do, and he's doing it from 6'7".
Yeah, no, that's absolutely impressive. And speaking of barrels, Ohtani's not far behind him. He's got the second most barrels in the league with 156 over the same period. Tied for the sixth highest average exit velocity at 92.8 miles an hour. So both of those guys hit the ball hard. And, you know, the caveat is just that Shohei Ohtani's also pitching just as well. And I can't wait for the day that people's brains explode, because he is going to, at some point in time in his career, in my opinion anyways, is going to win the MVP and the Cy Young in the same year, provided he doesn't win too many MVPs before he finally gets that coveted. At least I feel like he covets in a non, you know, I don't mean that negatively that he covets. He would like to win that Cy Young award.
In my opinion, for him to be able to win that, he needs to get out of the West Coast.
Okay. And why is that, though? Because it seems like
he needs. Well, I won't say out of the West Coast. I'm
just
talking
the AL West.
Out of Anaheim.
Okay.
Out of Anaheim. You get him in L.A. or
with the Dodgers.
With the Dodgers. You get him with the Dodgers. You get him with the Yankees. You get him with the Red Sox. You get him with the names of MLB. I think he's got a better shot at winning multiple awards, because then not necessarily more people are paying attention to him, but he's got a better chance at winning ball games.
I feel that to an extent. My argument would be he's with the biggest name in all of baseball right now in Mike Trout.
But also you've got Miles's take from a couple weeks ago. If he played with the Goldilocks balls in New York last year, how many does he hit?
Yeah, no, I mean, there is that, but we also don't know how many. First off, we don't know definitively how many Goldilocks balls that the Yankees and Aaron Judge were getting. At the same time, we don't know if the Yankees were getting the Goldilocks balls used against them, and then we also don't know, how many games Ohtani and the Angels were with or were without the Goldilocks balls. So there is that factor. When it comes to home runs, 440-foot threshold is often what separates a long ball from a monster shot. So if it's over 440 feet, that's a monster of a home run. And Judge has more 440-foot blasts in his career. He's got 34, whereas Ohtani's got 18. But then again, you look at playing time, 15.4% of Judge's career, of his home runs in his career have traveled at least 440 feet, whereas for Shohei Ohtani, it's 13.8%. So whereas the number is 34-18 in favor of Judge, there's a big difference. Ohtani's doing it at a clip of 13.8%. Yeah. For reference there in 2022, 4.4% of home runs across Major League Baseball traveled 440 feet at minimum. So that's just it's insane what Shohei Ohtani is doing. I don't want to take anything away from Aaron Judge, but he's doing it on both sides, and he's doing it with power, and he's doing it with speed. I mean, this is just amazing.
If you're a fan of baseball and you're not watching Angels baseball games, like, you're doing yourself a disservice. Heck, even Yankees games, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you're not watching the greatest players right now play ball, like, why are you even an MLB fan?
Well, because you could be a fan of your team, right? So if you're a fan of the team, you say you're living here in Panama City, right, or Mariana or Port St. Joe. Say you're living here and your team you're originally from the West Coast, or your dad or your grandpa liked a West Coast team. Well, you're probably going to like a West Coast team and keep track of them. So that's going to take you off of the Angels. Whereas if you're an Atlanta Braves fan, you can watch the Braves, provided they're not on a West Coast trip like they are right now playing the San Diego Padres. We'll get to a Braves update here in the next segment. But you can watch the Atlanta Braves, and then you can watch the Los Angeles Angels if they're not on the East Coast like they are right now. So I agree with you, though. Like, you're missing out on history, and it seems like every time Shohei Ohtani's cleats touch any type of field, history is about to be made.
And the craziest, the most on-brand meme that I have seen in recent years was the meme that they're talking about the LA Angels. Mike Trout, every time you watch SportsCenter, Mike Trout has done something brand new, and Shohei has done something brand new, but the Angels lose by 4.
Yeah, and that's the craziest thing in all of baseball. There's no doubt about that. Judge has got 3 homers of 496, 495, and 471 feet, farther than Ohtani's longest home run, which is 470 feet. That's wild. He's got 3 home runs longer than the longest of Shohei Ohtani.
How do you hit a ball that far?
You get the Goldilocks balls. You get your bat. You get some cork in that baseball bat, and the next thing you know, that thing's going 496 feet.
That's just crazy. Almost 500 feet. 4 feet away from 500 feet.
Looking like Bryce Harper with a daggum aluminum bat, man.
Yeah, I can't even hit I can barely, we don't even have guys who can hit golf balls that far.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we talked about the speed of Ohtani. Judge has got a little bit of that as well, but we'll start with Ohtani here. He's got the edge. He owns 66 career stolen bases. Judge himself has 44 stolen bases. So, hey, not too shabby there as well. Both the guys can run a little bit of a better clip there for Shohei Ohtani. We'll look at the head-to-head battles here real quick. Ohtani, he's got a rough history pitching against the New York Yankees, but he's only faced them twice in his career. In those 2 starts, and both of those were in New York, he's given up 11 runs on 10 hits across 3 2/3 innings with more walks than strikeouts. He had 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, and Judge himself has gone 2 for 2 with a solo home run against Ohtani. I'm sure that there's not too many players in Major League Baseball who have a record of a batting average of 1,000 against Shohei Ohtani. As opposing sluggers, It's been a little bit more even against each other's team since 2018. Both of them have 7 home runs. Judge was responsible for robbing Ohtani last year of the 8th home run for him, so that would have given Ohtani the edge. Judge's RBIs, 15, and he's just above Shohei Ohtani, who's got 12 RBIs when they play each other. And then when you get to their slashes, their lines, Judge hitting 343 with a 472 OBP and slugging at 671. The Angels, with Ohtani here, or Judge was doing that against the Angels, and Ohtani against the Yankees is only batting 200 with a OBP of 284, and he's slugging 583. From 2018 to 2022, the Angels and the Yankees have played 16 times with both Ohtani and Judge in the starting lineups. The Yankees have won 10 of those games, and to keep Shohei Ohtani in Los Angeles or in Anaheim with the Angels, those numbers, those trends are going to have to change. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We're getting ready to take a quick break here, and when we return, we'll have Jack Patterson telling you just a little bit more about Wrestling Against Cancer 8. Want to remind you guys that you can text us today at 850-215-6290. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
FC Premier Professional Wrestling with the American Machine, Chief Little Bear, Mr. 850, and exciting women's wrestling with Raven Knight and T-Games. Saturday, April 29th, Wrestling Against Cancer number 8.
Number 8.
At the Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Proceeds benefit Donna Duncan.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
Hello, this is Rick Boston with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer. We are located on 2241 East Baldwin Road, Panama City. Shopping for an 8-foot to 16-foot in width or 10-foot to 60-foot in length, cabin, garage, portable building, whatever the needs are. Remember, at Stormore, we can insulate our buildings. We can put electric on, thermal windows, transom dormers. There's so much we can do. Stormore Portable Buildings, 2241 East Baldwin Road.
Are you ready for Panama City's best pizza? Then check out the new Guru's Pizza, 786. They don't do just the best pizza. They also serve wings, traditional and boneless, pasta, calzone, salad, sandwiches, and more. Guru's Pizza, 786 has 50-plus Indian and Italian pizza varieties. They're open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until midnight, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 11 a.m. until 3 a.m. Takeout and delivery are available. Guru's Pizza, 786, 7806 Front Beach Road. Call 850-588-5055.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
ESPN Northwest Florida. He entered a kids' 1-mile fun run and came in 9th. David Hayes is part of the Afternoon Underdogs. Weekdays 4 to 6 on ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
And we are live and local. We're out here at Dave & Buster's Pier Park on the patio. I'm David Hayes along with Drew Gorman. And we've got Jack Patterson, who is the promoter for Wrestling Against Cancer 8. Wrestling Against Cancer 8 is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. We're going to be out there at Bay Haven Charter Academy. Jack, what would you like to say to the people right now? Tell them to come on out and buy some tickets, huh?
Yeah, I'm out here at Pier Park with Dave & Buster's with ESPN, and y'all come on in and buy tickets and stuff. You get $1 off of the price of the tickets if you buy them now. If you buy them at the door, it's going to be $12 for 16 to up. It'd be 12. It'd be 5 and under free, and it's going to be from 6 to 15. It's going to be $8, and it's going to be next Saturday night at Bay Haven Charter Academy. If you don't know where they're at, from 389 and Mosley Drive. And just going to be a great night of wrestling to help Donna Duncan with her medical cancer expenses. And there's going to be a lot of great matches out there. There's going to be a gauntlet match. There's going to be an 8-man elimination match. There's going to be a women's 3-way match with T. Gaines and Emily Locke and Savannah Thorne. There's going to be a 4-way for the Wrestling Against Cancer Championship. It's just going to be a great night of wrestling. We're going to have a Marie and Dennis Love Battle Royal. And just, it's all going to be a great night. Y'all just come out here to Pier Park right now and purchase tickets.
Save you $1. Come on out, man. It's like the Dollar General. We're saving you dollars out here right now.
Oh, yeah. And we just, we encourage everybody to come out. And if you just want to donate, hit me up on Facebook. I'll tell you how to do that. Or you can call me at 850-625-2862. Or you can hit me up on jack.patterson24@yahoo.com.
Hey, there you go, man. In this day and age of Facebook, you could just search Wrestling Against Cancer 8, and that'll take you straight to Jack Patterson. And again, the proceeds from this are going to benefit Donna Duncan, who is dealing with her own bout right now. She is wrestling against cancer quite literally, and that's the whole purpose of this benefit, ladies and gentlemen. So come out here to Pier Park. We're on the patio, Dave & Buster's. You give us $12. Jack's going to give you a ticket, and then that money is going to Donna Duncan to help her defeat cancer, which is what everyone wants to see. Ain't that right, Jack?
That's right.
Yeah.
Because, cancer, it just affects you all different ways. Stress, money-wise, and it's just all different ways it affects the person that's battling it. And and we got my man Dave over here going to be ring announcing for me next week.
Yeah, going to be doing some of that. I cannot wait for that, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. And the whole venue, is 500 capacity just from the bleachers. There's going to be chairs. We've got plenty of room for you, but we want to make it to where there is no room, where it's standing room only. We want to pack this place out, not just to support the wrestlers, but more so to support Donna Duncan, because she is the hub of the wheel for this entire ordeal.
I want to try to raise a lot of money for Donna Duncan. I want to make this a bigger success than the very first one. So the very first one was the most capacity I've had so far. Let's come out and pack this out. Let's put 1,000 people in there.
I love it. Let's put 1,000 people in there. Hey, and it's also, we've got the Wrestling Against Cancer Championship belt out here. You can come out. If you got the kids with you, take a couple pictures with it. And we're going to be talking more about this afternoon at 5:40 in our local segment. Hey, Jack, thanks so much, man. If you want to talk some Braves with us, just sit right there, and we're gonna keep it rolling with the Atlanta Braves, because Dave kept it rolling. The Atlanta Braves win again, 8 straight now, with an 8-1 win, as I mentioned earlier. Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson with 3-run shots in the 8th and the 9th inning. Acuna last night went 0 for 4. Me and Max were talking yesterday about how his average was sitting at 389. He went 0 for 4, and the average dropped just to 368, which is still 37%, man. So he's playing great baseball, albeit it's still early in the season. It's a marathon, so I get 100% of all of that, but it's still a lot of fun to watch him at 100% health and what he's been able to do. Sean Murphy had a home run last night. That made him the first player. He did end up getting a single later on in this game, but it made him the first player in Atlanta Braves history since 1966 to have 11 straight hits go for extra bases. That was Sean Murphy, man. What an addition he's been. They bring him over from Oakland to be a defensively minded catcher, and he is great on the defensive side of the ball. Hey, there we go. Chop on, my friend. Chop on. They bring him in to be that defensively minded catcher. Travis d'Arnaud goes down, and we knew that we were going to be getting a good split, but Travis d'Arnaud goes down early with a concussion, and he has just raked ever since then, and that's been a breath of fresh air, because you know how tough it can be when you go from a place like Oakland, who's getting 3,500 people in the stands. And then you go to Atlanta where they're packed out every night. So what do you want to do? You want to impress the fans, and he has done that to this point. Spencer Strider, 9 Ks again. He only gave up 1 hit last night over the course of 6 innings. Jesse Chavez comes in, Nick Anderson and Kirby Yates, basically flawless, 1 hit given up going into the 8th. That was the 1 hit from Strider. Then Nick Anderson gave up a couple. In the 8th inning, Kirby Yates, I believe, gave up 1. So the Padres only had 4 hits last night, which is very impressive when you think about that roster that they've built up over there. Spencer Strider's now recorded at least 9 strikeouts. Get this, y'all. 9 strikeouts in 8 straight regular season starts, which matches the franchise record from Smoltzy. That's John Smoltz in 1997. Nolan Ryan actually set the Major League Baseball record when he got 9 strikeouts over 11 straight starts in 1977. I mean, but if your name, Spencer Strider, is mentioned with the greats of John Smoltz and Nolan Ryan, you know that you're doing something right. And then how else do you know? When yes, it's still early in the season, but as of last night, he's taken over the Major League lead for strikeouts with 36. How many innings has he pitched? Just 22. You do the math. Wow. That's pretty good. Strider struck out 40.9%. That's 36 out of 88 batters that he's faced this year. That's
insane.
It really is insane. And that's better than the Major League Baseball's best 38.3% strikeout rate that he produced last year. The Atlanta Braves right now are playing the San Diego Padres, so I'm going to mosey on over to ESPN.com and get us a score check. Juan Soto homered, I believe, in the 4th inning, and the Padres were up 1-0, and it is now in the bottom of the 7th. Man, these games go by fast. It started at 3:10. We're approaching 2 hours, and they've only got 2 innings left to go, barring the Atlanta Braves getting this 3rd out here. So the Padres leading the Atlanta Braves 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th. And elsewhere in Major League Baseball, Clayton Kershaw gets win number 200 yesterday evening, and he looked like he looked like prime Clayton Kershaw again, man. The slider was working, the whole repertoire was working. I don't know if the adrenaline was pumping for, to get win number 200, or is this a sign of the things to come? Because Clayton Kershaw, along with the rest of that rotation in LA, that could be really dangerous. He became just a 3rd pitcher to reach 200 wins with the Dodgers, joining Don Sutton, who had 233, and Don Drysdale, who had 209. His .694 career winning percentage is the best among pitchers in the modern era, with at least 200 career wins, just ahead of Whitey Ford, who had a winning percentage of .690.
Wow. Wow. Just the longevity of his career is great. And I lived in Chattanooga for a little bit of my period, and he made a couple rehab starts from time to time whenever the Reds were a part of the Dodgers organization. I mean, not the Reds. Whenever the Chattanooga Lookouts, the AA team in Chattanooga, were a part of the Dodgers organization, and it was just crazy to sit there and just watch you're walking through the halls and you're seeing big signs of Kershaw and Puig and those guys, but just seeing a guy as good, arguably one of the greatest pitchers in this era, in our era of baseball, that played at that level. You don't think of that whenever you're looking at them at their height of the game. You're thinking of them just being at the top of their game at all times. But it's great. It's great for Kershaw that he got his 200th win. Like, I hope, as a competitor, I hope he definitely, this is a sign. You were saying, is this a sign to show that he's coming back? I hope that he is able to use this as momentum and keep rolling into the next, into the rest of the season.
And sticking with the Dodgers now, Mookie Betts yesterday, his wife Brianna, had a baby yesterday, so he was on paternity leave. However, Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, does think that he will be back for tonight's game. And guess what position Mookie Betts is going to be playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers when he returns? Now, for how long, I don't know. Miguel Rojas has struggled at the plate. Chris Taylor's been dealing with a little bit of an injury, so third string on the depth chart is Mookie Betts, and Mookie Betts is going to be playing shortstop for the Los Angeles Dodgers. If this guy don't get into the dadgum GOAT conversation soon, I'm going to lose my mind, and this is as a Dodger hater. I'm not a huge fan of the Boston Red Sox, but great's got to recognize great. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm saying Mookie Betts is amazing. Wednesday would be, let's say that he plays tonight, which I don't know, because I know that they're playing right now, and the Mets do have a 5-2 lead over the Dodgers, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe this could be a Thursday type deal, but let's say that he played today. That would be his 1,131st Major League game, and according to Elias Sports Bureau, that's the 5th most career games played by anyone before their first Major League Baseball start at the 6th position, at shortstop, within the past 30 years. Over that period, Betts trails only Russell Martin, who set the modern era record at 1,714 games for the 2018 Blue Jays, Eric Young, who did it in 1,573 games for the 2004 Rangers. Jeff Cirillo took him 1,465 for the 2006 Brewers, and then Kelly Johnson 1,339 games for the 2015 Mets. So very impressive company for Mookie Betts.
And just real quick, Luke Williams is playing shortstop right now for the Dodgers.
So fourth string.
Mookie is not in. But another real quick thing, I saw a video, literally, Mookie Betts had been playing second base the whole game, gets moved out to right field, and saves the game on a missile from right field, gunning down a runner trying to come and score. Like, holy crap. How do you turn double plays all game, and then all of a sudden now you can just go to the outfield and do it like it's nothing?
Yeah. I mean, as much as I love Mookie Betts, 2021 when the Braves won the World Series, there were some plays that he made in the outfield for the Dodgers. And in fact, I think you can even go back to 2020 and just and the way that the guy plays. Yeah. You talk about little guys and who they, the young athletes, the young boys and girls out there playing youth baseball, and a player they could emulate. Mookie Betts is definitely one of those guys. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're out here at Dave and Buster's Pier Park on the patio, and we've got the Assistant General Manager, Amanda Muller, with us now. We'll be right back with hour number 2 of the Afternoon Underdogs.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
That ball's going to be out of here.
America's team plays here.
Bombs away.
The Atlanta Braves are back and making a statement.
Ronald Acuna just clobbered one to left.
Listen to Atlanta Braves baseball in a rich audio experience live on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes the thunder.
Sponsored by Goldberg Kia, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Mid-South Lumber, Stormore Portable Buildings, and Brock Pest Control.
My weather forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies, just over 80, and looks like a south wind about 10 miles per hour. Water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear around 60 tonight with light winds. Mostly sunny Thursday, mostly sunny Friday. And the high each day right around 80 degrees with light winds. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Gulf Coast Aquarium is now Gulf Coast Aquarium and Pet. They have a full line of live reptiles and reptile supplies, including the area's largest supplier of ZooMed products. ZooMed, a family-owned business with over 45 years of U.S.-based manufacturing. ZooMed is #1 in reptile products worldwide and is now available at Gulf Coast Aquarium and Pet, 469 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City.
Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WPLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
It is a walk-off home
Afternoon Underdogs.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. It is hour number 2 of the Afternoon Underdogs, just in time for some Would You Rather. Amanda is. That is the Assistant General Manager of Dave & Buster's, Amanda Muller. Amanda, how's your day been today? Did you go to the Roar Park?
Roar Park today. We went to Sheffield Park. That's his other favorite park. But we did go to the Roar Park yesterday.
Oh, there you go. Everything's still good?
Everything.
The giraffe still living lavishly?
He is excited to feed the giraffe every day. We can't look at like the produce section with him seeing lettuce, not be like, giraffe, giraffe. I'm like, bunnies also enjoy lettuce, other animals.
Yeah, no doubt. I was golfing at Nature Walk about a week and a half ago on a Saturday, and there was no one out there on the course, so there was a rabbit or a bunny on every single hole, and there was this one that was a little baby rabbit running across the course, and I was like, I want to get that thing and bring him home.
So, like, we went yesterday, and they have the little bunny area where you can, like, pet them or whatever, and there's a specific sign that was, not created because of me, but definitely created because of someone like me that's like, you can't get in the enclosure or pick up the rabbits. And, I definitely wanted to pick one up because they had these little baby bunnies. So I definitely, scooted him into a corner, and I was like, I could take you. I didn't, obviously. Little bunny.
Little bunny. Drew's over here just making it worse by showing. Oh, is that your bunny?
Pictures.
I was living back in Tennessee back in May 12th of 2014 and had let the grass grow a little bit. And one day I'm just...
Zero turn?
Nope, push mo. So one day I'm just cutting the grass, and next thing you know, I'm looking off, and I'm just kind of zoned out, listening to my music, just chilling. Next thing you know, I see the grass start moving, and I was like, okay, is that a snake? So I start freaking out. I'm like, oh, I don't do snakes.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So I turn it off, and I walk over to go see what it is. I grab a stick and peel back. Next thing you know, it's a little baby bunny. There were about 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah,
I picked them all up, and got them out of the yard, got them into the front yard. At first, I walked in, and I was like, Mom, look what I found. Can I keep it? And she's like, no. We already have a dog. We already have 2 dogs. They don't react well with other animals.
With bunnies, especially.
With bunnies. Baby bunnies at that. Never found the mama. But I put it in the front yard, put it on my Instagram, and ended up like a week later, days later, had more people at my school that I had never really spoken to, and they're like, oh my God, can I get one of the bunnies?
I said
want
no.
one.
I cut them, and they're fertilizer now.
Gosh.
But I was like, no, I released them day of, and I have not seen them since.
Oh, man. Actually, over Christmas, there's a guy down by our house, and he sells rabbits out of like his backyard or whatever. So I was gonna go get one, and my fiance was like, "No, you're not getting a rabbit because we got 2
Nick
cats
would
and a dog
be upset
as
for
well."
like 2 seconds if I brought one of those home because
well, if she wanted to bring one home, then it's all great. But if I do, it's like no.
You just need to help her find the
Yeah.
bunny
There
in
you
the
go.
yard and be like, "Oh man, look at this bunny." But I sent the video of the bunnies in Kaiser to Nick, and he was like, I hope you picked one up and put it in your pocket. I was like, man, I thought about it.
I thought about it. Oh, that is awesome. Earlier we were talking about Shohei and Ohtani and kind of the length of their home runs. And Ryan Mulvey had texted me, and he was like, man, that is wild, but it's a long way. He said it's a long way with a baseball, but it's only 165 yards in terms of golf. I mean, really in terms of translating the feet to yards. But when you think about 165 yards in golf is, well, for pros, like a gap wedge essentially, but for me, I'm probably using a good 6 or 5 iron to get 165 yards. It just depends on how well I strike the ball. All right, here we go. Let's get in some Would You Rather on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon out here at Dave & Buster's. Before we do that, though, Lynn Haven Rob texted in, and he wants to buy $100 in tickets for Jack for Jack Patterson and Wrestling Against Cancer 8. If you guys would like to do the same thing, if anyone out there would like to donate right now, you could just text to 850-215-6290. Jack Patterson is right beside me, and I will relay that information to him. This is all for Donna Duncan, Wrestling Against Cancer 8. All proceeds go to Donna Duncan in her bout with cancer. All right, would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long? Start it off with non-sports, and then we'll alternate.
I'm gonna go with live twice as long because I can make enough money, hopefully, to sustain that. I can work longer if I live twice as long.
Yeah, good point.
Give me the lottery.
Give you the lottery? You don't want to live twice as long?
No, give me the lottery.
All right.
What is twice as long, though, right? Like, because no one knows their date.
That's true. So you don't know if it's like you're getting yourself an extra 10 years or an extra 90.
What if you, exactly, what is, like, do you
We
really
don't know.
want to be
That's why I'll
around
take
this
it.
earth for 200 years?
Nope.
They're saying there was an article
Nope.
that are like one of those random articles on Twitter that I would scroll past, and it said that, the life expectancy is going to go up to the 140s, and I was like, man, I don't know. That's,
140.
but I mean, like, how agile are you going to be as a sprite 120-year-old?
Yeah.
20 years left.
I don't know, man. Things got to change.
I've already seen like 60s and 70-year-old people getting around, not
Well,
getting
we're
around
going to have
as
to
well.
start living
so
to be 140 to afford a house. So.
That is true.
We got a 60-year mortgage.
Yeah, I was about to say probably a 140-year mortgage at that point, and they're trying to push us up to 160. Would you rather? Okay, let's keep it football here. Jordan Love or Trey Lance? Would you rather Jordan Love or Trey Lance? Oh, my answer for the lottery or twice as long lottery, 100%.
Okay.
Give me the lottery, and then I'll just spread it out to all kinds of charities. Jordan Love or Trey Lance? Amanda, you go first.
Neither.
Can't. No. This isn't
take
would
Trey
you
Lance.
rather or neither.
Yep.
Or
I will take Trey Lance.
All right. What about you, Drew?
I'm Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I think so we haven't seen anything from Trey Lance, right? We've seen a quarter and a half in
haven't seen
his
much from
career in
Jordan Love, though, too.
North Dakota State. Right. We haven't seen very much from Jordan Love at all, except for that game against the Eagles on Sunday Night Football
It was
this
actually
last
good,
year.
yeah.
And he looked decent. So just
I
from
just- I
that
just
small
can't-
sample, I know he's a Packer,
Yeah.
and that's 75% of the reason why this question's even in here is based for you.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. So for me, I'm going with Jordan Love in that. I don't know, man. You tried to give the keys to the Lamborghini, if you will, to Trey Lance last year, and it didn't last. And then Brock Purdy comes in,
know, I'm
after
Brock
Jimmy
Purdy
G. And exactly. So I imagine, Trey Lance could come out there and not play well, and as soon as fans know that Brock Purdy's healthy again,
they're gonna want
it's
that.
on and popping. And I'm sure that Kyle Shanahan's going to go, hey, look, Trey, like you didn't take advantage of the opportunity
It's
that
his
you were
job to lose,
presented.
and he lost it.
Well, they're already fielding phone calls about Trey Lance.
Yeah, I know, and they were talking with Rand Carthon, the
I've
general
seen-
manager of the Titans. Let's not make that happen, brother.
Yeah, I've seen some things on that too. I don't know how I feel on that one.
All right, let's see here. Hurts or Jackson? Jalen Hurts, who just signed a big-time contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, or Lamar Jackson, who is kind of in contract limbo, also looking at possibly sitting out or playing under the franchise tag for the Baltimore Ravens, or being traded. Would you rather have Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson for the next 10 years?
Jalen Hurts.
Well, we're gonna bring this back, and we're gonna go. Well, this is
It never went anywhere. You don't even have to bring it
I
back.
can handle my spot for him. You're like, well, this is easy.
We're gonna bring this back to Miles, and we're gonna say this is easy. It's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is team first. He is doing everything to help the team. He is there. He has integrity. He was doing the work when no one was watching.
Wow. How does how does Lamar Jackson not have integrity, though?
What I mean,
Right now, he's on Team Lamar, not
exactly.
Not the
Or
Ravens.
is he on Team Jackson, meaning the family? You know what I mean? More so than just Lamar. There's got to be a reason that him and his mom are his
about
agent.
himself when all these other quarterbacks that I would consider good quarterbacks, like Tom Brady, that's why he's the GOAT, not just because of his ability, but I mean, the man offered up pay cuts for himself to get other people so the team would better themselves. Like, nobody does that these days. And Lamar's just sitting there waiting for a price tag and, hoping for the best.
And to me, from Jalen's perspective, he was putting in the work after, immediately, whenever he was told he was not going to be the starter for Alabama, Tua was going to be the starter. He was still putting in the work like he was the starter. Ended up working out well in the SEC championship game. Then he transfers to Oklahoma, still puts in the work, trying to be the best Jalen he can be.
Second to Joe Burrow in Heisman voting as well there.
Then he goes to the NFL. He's not even supposed to be the starter, but he still puts in all the effort he can, everything he can. He's putting in the effort when no one's watching. That's what I'm trying to get at from his perspective. And for me, it seems like I love Lamar. I love him as a talent. I love him as a player. but him as a person, he just seems like he's more me.
I can agree with that too. I agree with that.
It's just right now in the situation that he's in right now, where he's holding out, and it looks like him and the Ravens are 10 miles apart in their offers, and he's not budging. At some point, you've got to come off that and realize, hey, they're not going to give me that much. I still want to play. Let's do something about it.
I think at this point, though, the damage is done. I would roll with Jalen Hurts as well. I think that the damage is done between Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, there could be a one-year little deal where, like, look, I'm going to play under the franchise tag this year, and we're moving on. There's no chance of you guys signing me for next year. There could be a situation like that. I just think that, Lamar is getting kind of a bad rap because he's in one of these contract disputes, and everyone always likes to take, and as wild as it seems, right, they see the money that the players are getting, and they're like, oh, he shouldn't be getting that. Well, what about these owners and stuff like that? No one's complaining about all the money that they're getting and the holdouts and the way that they change things. You know what I mean? So they get a bad rap for kind of being centered around that negativity, and I don't think that it's, a knock on Lamar's integrity or anything. I think that it's one of those situations where you only have so many chances to get the bag as an athlete like that.
This is their job. It's a business.
Yeah. It is, and
so I mean, I get it and I respect it.
But if it's down to Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson,
I'm picking Hurts.
Yeah, I feel that as well. And then also you look at Jalen, and he's only missed 2 games in his career, whereas Lamar Jackson, whose career has been longer, but in the last 2 years he's only played 12 games, and those 12 games were to start the season. And you don't get known for how you start the season. You get known for how you finish the season. Would you rather have the same haircut or the same phone for 20 years?
Oh, haircut. I could style that a million different ways. This phone, I mean, she dies.
That's true.
Haircut, like, you could come out tomorrow and this phone is already outdated.
That's fair. I thought that you guys would, I guess everyone would take same haircut. It's easy for me because I have no options.
I think guys generally rock the same haircut for most of their life anyway.
That is
my hair has been the same style for the past 3 years now.
Style?
Besides like length and everything. I mean,
Yeah. Besides length.
Yeah, no, man. I let the sides get a little too long.
Get that Homer Simpson going.
I'm pretty much working on it. I need to get some dreads on the side or something like that.
That'd be fantastic.
There
Put some
you
team
go.
colors in there.
Let's see. Would you rather throw for 56 touchdowns and break Peyton Manning's record, or hit 74 home runs and break Barry Bonds' record?
Oh, man.
Yeah, record-breaking stuff right here.
I love football, but hitting 74 home runs,
I know, I was
there's
going to say,
just
like, Barry
something.
Bonds, like, that's...
Hitting 74 home runs, there's just something about it. And everybody, you talk to any athlete, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to say hitting a fastball is the hardest thing to do in sports. So if you can say that you hit 74 plus home runs, 75 plus home runs, count me in all day.
I definitely think I want the home runs. It's a better celebration for me anyway.
And it takes, you're in the limelight a little bit more. Yeah, exactly.
Give me the bat flip.
I think I'm going to agree with you guys because here's why I'm going to agree with you. I could see 56 touchdowns coming from Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, even Herbert in that conversation.
My record's going to be overtaken soon enough.
Right.
This one
will last. I can't. We saw Judge last year get to 62, and it was like, how much more can he actually get? Now, he's gotten off to a little bit better of a start this year, but do you really think that Aaron Judge can get in the 70s? I mean, just to get past 69.
with these guys out as quarterback now, putting your name next to Peyton Manning, while it's a feat, it's not as incredible as your name next to Barry Bonds.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And then also, when it comes down to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, unless you were, watching both of those and the rivalry that both of those guys had, Tom Brady is going to get recognized more, is more notable because of the 7 Super Bowls in and of itself. And so he kind of wins that argument when there's not a lot of information given. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, most people are going to pick Tom Brady, whereas I'm still kind of one of those guys. Yeah, look, Peyton Manning didn't have as many rings as what Tom Brady got. Peyton only had 2 of them, but at the end of the day, he's got stats, and he was the sheriff. I mean,
when you look at stats, it's really skewed. Sorry, dear, but one of my favorites, Rex Grossman, has the same amount of NFC championships as Aaron Rodgers. That's a true statistic. So, like, I can't get into stats on some things because, like, those exist.
You can spew anything you need to.
But it's the truth. Rex Grossman and Aaron Rodgers, as far as NFL or NFC North championships, same level.
Peyton Manning.
You're welcome for that tidbit.
Wow. Peyton Manning is the greatest regular season quarterback of all time.
Regular season, yes.
Greatest regular season.
He was good in the playoffs as well,
He's
Peyton
a great
Manning.
host. His show is fantastic.
The Manning brothers in general.
They're so entertaining.
Do you think Cooper is do you think he really wants Arch to be better than Peyton and Eli, so it can be like, haha,
I don't think
I got the
Archie
genes,
Manning
baby.
is going to be better. I think he'll.
No, I'm talking about Coop though. From Coop's perspective,
From Coop's
Arch's dad.
Yeah.
It's like then he gets to talk a little bit more junk to his brothers.
Yeah, definitely. I'm right there with
in
you.
that aspect, yes, because still, you look at the Manning brothers. You got two amazing quarterbacks. What's your other brother do? And they're like, oh, he's an astronaut. And you're like, come on. Those parents just sold their soul to the devil or something. I don't know.
Oh, let's see here. Let's do it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, all born in Louisiana. Go.
Were they really? I didn't know that.
They were born in New Orleans because that's whenever Archie was playing for the Saints. The Aints at that point in time.
That's cool.
They should have all had their baby pictures with a bag over their head. Burger or a hot dog? Burger or a hot dog? Would you rather a
is it
burger
from
or
a
a hot
restaurant
dog?
or from like a ball
No, we're at a
stadium?
ball field.
Hot dog.
Hot dog?
Hot dog. And I don't want like plain hot dog ketchup. That's it. It's all
Just
one
ketchup?
on it.
No mustard at all?
Maybe mustard, but no
All right.
like relish, onions. Like I just want a simple hot dog.
I feel that. I might would throw a little relish on there, but I'm gonna go in favor with you there. I've got hot dog as well. What about you, Drew? Change it up a little bit. We know how it is, man. Is it the glizzies or the burger for the boys?
It's the glizzies for the boys, baby. The glizzies for the boys. But I mean, if you put the stipulation that it's at a ballpark, hot dog all day, glizzy all day, baby. But if you're saying just in general, like at a cookout,
you're going to Winn-Dixie or you're going to a store to buy it, and then you're going home to grill it.
Still want a hot dog.
Burger.
But I'm actually going to asterisk this and say brat. I want a beer brat.
What is there a certain brand sausage that you get or bratwurst?
If I have to do a brand, I would do Johnsonville. But up there, you've got all the local butchers and everything. And there's a place right next to Lambeau Field. It's Kroll's. They have the best butter burger, but they have a great brat that they get locally, and just mustard and onions, sauerkraut, and I'm good to go.
Oh, sauerkraut, man. I did not start liking sauerkraut till I was older, or not older, but like 15, 16, 17, to get accustomed to that bitter taste. But it's got to be Conecuh, though. It's got to be Conecuh, right? That's the sausage.
You got to just come up to Lambeau Field. You can have your array of brats. My kid had his first brat at Lambeau Field.
That is a good place to have your first bratwurst. There's no
delicious.
doubt about that. Okay, we did same haircut or same phone for 20 years. Let's see, Lincoln Riley or Ryan Day? USC's coach or Ohio State's coach? I'm going with, I think they were both kind of, in a sense, born on third base here or born with a triple. I'm going to go with Lincoln Riley, though, just because he's shown a little bit more from that jump from Oklahoma to USC. Like, hey, look, we can get it done. Whereas Ryan Day, 2 years in a row now, losing to his bitter arch rival in Michigan. I think that speaks volumes. Even though Ryan Day and Ohio State had a heck of a game against Georgia in the CFP, in the first round of the CFP.
I will never choose anything Ohio State. So Lincoln Riley, here we go.
I don't like Lincoln Riley.
You don't have to, but do you like anybody at Ohio State?
No.
There you go. Lesser of two evils. Joe Burrow.
Ryan Day. I'm going to take Ryan Day.
You are going to take Ryan Day?
Yeah, I can't pull myself to choose Lincoln Riley.
Oh man, I like this one. I'm doing the next one alone.
Doing the next one alone?
You're doing the next one alone?
Yeah, because I'm not going to. Maybe I will like your answers, but I'm asking. Would you rather watch the NBA or the NHL?
Who's going first? You go ahead. You go first, Drew.
I'm going to watch the NBA.
For me, it's the NHL, and
yes.
So even when I have two different games on, and one's NBA and NHL, like I was talking about earlier in our opening segment today, my eyes just automatically gravitate towards the NHL, and then also in stoppages. So if I'm watching the NBA game, as soon as a whistle, which is like every 3-4 seconds, my eyes gravitate back down to the NHL game, to the hockey game, and then I don't move my eyes again until the action is stopped there, which it rarely ever does.
There's so
the
much
NHL
game. I'm NHL as well because of the stoppage in basketball. Like, especially when you get to the end of the game and you're just
3
watching.
minutes is like
whistle,
a 30-minute.
Whistle, foul. I'm like, I can't get motivated by that. NHL, like, not only do you have constant action, but every once in a while they just start hitting each other, and that's great.
They just start hitting each other. Now, if we're talking going to the arena and watching, hockey all day.
Yeah.
Give me NHL
still hockey on
all day.
Yeah, still hockey. And, you know, I still love watching basketball. Love watching the NBA for the most part. It's just, for me, I guess it's kind of lost its luster in the last couple of years.
Yes,
I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe it's because the Pacers are not very good right now, but I know that can't be the reason because they're never really that good, or at least they haven't been in a good long while. Oh, man, I used to have his shoes. Those were awesome back in the day. All right, last one here. Would you rather a 3-day weekend? Where is that question at? Would you rather have Monday off or have Friday off for a 3-day weekend? You're going to have a 3-day weekend. Would you rather your first day off or your last day off, essentially? Would you rather have that Friday or that Monday off? I'll go first here.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Monday off because, you know, when you take that Friday off, Sunday still feels the same. Whereas when you go into that Sunday day off and it's your second day off, and normally you're getting ready to go to work on Monday, but now you've got that, you know, Monday feels almost like a Sunday again. So it feels like the weekend has been elongated, whereas when you take that Friday off, it just feels like everything just goes so fast.
Yeah, a Friday off would make me feel like, you know, you've got one of those quick vacation weekends and it goes by and all of a sudden your Friday off didn't matter. And a Monday off, you know, is Tuesday going to feel like the new Monday? That's okay with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. So I'm going to take the Monday off.
I'm following suit, the Monday off, because at the end of the day, you're sitting there, you go out on a Monday, and where's
different.
everybody else going to be? They're at work.
Yeah.
You go out on a Friday, there's a lot of people.
Everybody's already ready for the weekend.
Especially down here, there's already people taking off. There's already people on vacation. There's people skating in the street. That's Friday. Monday, there's people back at work. People doing adult things. I can go out and do my childish things.
What childish things are you going to try and do on a Monday?
I'm going to go sit. I can't say that on
Got
radio.
it.
Oh, my.
He's going to the beach, everybody.
Goodness gracious. Well, I guess,
Unless it's a double red.
Spring break rules have surpassed us, so you're
sit
good.
on the beach. You
Yeah.
can't get in the water.
Yeah, but not with my fair skin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You probably burn.
You just bring a blanket and cut the holes out for your eyes.
Whoa.
Like that Grim Reaper that was walking around a few years back on the beach.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right, we've got to run to a break. This is the Afternoon Underdogs. You're chimed in to ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm David Hayes along with Drew Gorman and the Assistant General Manager of Dave & Buster's, Amanda Muller. Y'all come hang out with us on the patio. We're here for 30 more minutes. Half-price games, half price for happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
That makes Quinn Ewers looks better this year is he got a haircut. That's it. He's the same Quinn Ewers. He's the same guy, man. It ain't no different. You know, it's like me and you get a haircut. We look a lot better. I mean, I love your haircut. And anyway, as we go on,
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
My weather forecast for this afternoon, mostly sunny skies, just over 80, and looks like a south wind about 10 miles per hour. Water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear around 60 tonight with light winds. Mostly sunny Thursday, mostly sunny Friday. And the high each day right around 80 degrees with light winds. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Take your next adventure in an eco-friendly, all-electric Kia EV6 that gives you the movement that inspires. You can live fully charged while saving now and down the road on maintenance and fuel costs. You have to drive it really to believe it. Schedule a test drive today and explore the electrified Kia vehicles at Bill Burr Kia. Now offering 3.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia EV6. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology, but with performance that minimizes the impact of our environment. Bill Burr Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBurrKia.com. We make it easy to switch to EV ownership that gives you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia EV6 with $1,837 per month for $1,000 finance for 60 months. Quality's limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Burr Kia warranty. See dealer for details. Offer for well-qualified buyers must take delivery from dealer stock through 5/1/23.
Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? To the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, welcome back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida on 104.3 in Panama City, 102.1 in Marietta, and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. We need to get a Braves update here for hour number 2. We're going to be playing a little start bench cut. Give you a little bit of that action here. Braves did lose, now 14-5 on the season. They lose to the Padres just 1-0, and that game barely even, just eclipsed the 2-hour mark. Man, baseball is moving and it is grooving these days. ESPN Northwest Florida, the home for live and local sports talk. Get ready for the next big thing in sports talk radio. We're excited to launch a new live and local show for the sports-hungry people of the Panhandle, local, college, and the pros, golf, hockey, NFL, NCAA, and even sports betting. Listen May 1st at 11 a.m. to find out who is hosting the newest and most exciting show on the Gulf Coast. That's going to be exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida. Amanda is pointing to herself, so you're hosting the new show?
You didn't know?
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not. No, find out.
Save that surprise for later.
Yeah, find out who it is May 1st, 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida. There's no information over there, Drew, if you're trying to look for it.
He's trying to sneak a peek. You can't. Yeah,
Wrestling.
Don't write it on there because he's going to let
I'm not writing it down at all.
Do you know who it is?
I could. I might not. You're going to have to beat the information out of me.
I feel like he knows, and he's like
holding
out
the information out of you. All right.
The look on his face, he knows something we don't.
Well, we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, wrestling. You're going to use a bat? No. I'll wear my mask, and then I'll feel safe.
He's bringing a trash can. He's going to.
Our mask.
Yeah, there you go. Wrestling again. Not when you're in the outfield, though. Wrestling Against Cancer 8. That's going to be Saturday, April 29th. Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City. The address is 2501 Hawks Landing Boulevard. Still have Jack Patterson out here with us. He's got tickets out here right now. They're $12 at the door, but today you can come get them for $11. And all the proceeds go to benefit Donna Duncan, who is battling cancer herself, and that's why we have this benefit for Wrestling Against Cancer 8. Jack does such a good job and puts in a lot of hard work for these shows. So let's pack out what we packed the Possum a couple years ago. Last year was the fairgrounds, and now here we are doing it at Bay Haven Charter Academy. Let's pack that place out, and all the proceeds again go to benefit Donna Duncan. A little start bench cut action here. We were talking about Ohtani and Judge. Well, let's add Trout into the mix. Start bench cut. Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout.
I mean, that's impossible.
Well,
you're not cutting any one of those. I'm cutting Trout.
Easy.
I'm cutting Trout.
Ooh. Cutting Trout.
Yep.
Ooh.
I'm starting Ohtani, and I'm benching Judge.
Okay.
I'm agreeing 100% with her.
Man, is it Trout's age? Is that what's getting him cut right now? Yeah,
I
Because I
love.
wouldn't, but if you're making me choose.
It's less of Trout's age and more of I love Ohtani and Judge's bats right now.
Okay, I feel that. I'll be different then. I'll start Ohtani. I think it's hard not to start Ohtani, and then I'll bench Mike Trout, and I'll cut the home run leader of last year in Aaron Judge. I don't.
That's tough.
It is
that's
tough. It really is, man. And you know what? When my start in my bench right there with Mike Trout and with Shohei Ohtani, I can guarantee you one thing. We ain't sniffing the playoffs. All right, let's see here. NBA 2K, NBA Live, or NBA Street? Drew, start, bench, cut these games.
Starting NBA Street, cutting NBA Live, and benching 2K.
All right, I like that.
So I'm going to start 2K only because my sister used to work for 2K Games, so good for her.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to bench Live and cut Street only because I haven't played Street, so I don't know what I'm missing. So
oh, you're missing.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly. You don't know
I don't.
what you're missing.
So that's why I can cut them. Like, so clearly by your list, I have to try this one out or get Nick to try it out.
Yeah, get Nick to try it out on that.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can
'cause I
still
haven't
find it on the
GameCube.
PS Market, but he's got the PS5 now,
PS5,
right?
yeah, I got it for his birthday.
Oh man, I bet he is loving that.
My birthday's coming up.
I'll tell your wife.
See, it's funny because growing up, I was actually more of an NBA Live fan than I was an NBA 2K fan, and NBA Street takes the cake. But however, I like more realistic games than I do arcadey type games. So
Okay.
I'm going to
Okay.
start NBA 2K, or I like the simulation
Yeah.
over arcade. So I'm going to start 2K. I'll bench Street, and I'll cut my childhood favorite of
Live.
NBA Live. Yeah. Let's go March Madness, World Cup, or the Masters.
I got this.
Start, bench, cut, World Cup, March Madness, or the Masters.
If you would have asked me last year, this would have changed, but I am going to start
Ooh.
World Cup because
Okay.
I am now more knowledgeable in soccer.
Alrighty.
I'm going to bench March Madness, and I'm cutting the Masters.
Boy.
I know, it's so hard.
Nah.
That's tough. But I mean, yeah, with my soccer knowledge, what it is now, that would have totally been a different answer a few years ago.
Yeah.
But the World Cup is so much fun.
It really is, man. It really
So
is.
is March Madness, but I'm still putting them on the bench.
Start March Madness because it is literally wall to like the first couple of days wall to wall ball games going
they're
at
all-
all time.
And there's always like, you're freaking out at the end of the game.
And it's the perfect place. We're at the perfect place to watch March Madness.
True
I
story.
know we're a month
Dave
late,
and
but
Buster's.
definitely wall to wall madness. I'm benching World Cup and I'm cutting the Masters.
Yeah, I hear you.
I love World Cup, and with USA's recent upswing in previous World Cups. I mean, that has definitely heightened my fandom and wanting and cheering and wanting
you
to
were
see
out
them
here
do
early
good.
morning for the game. It was a good time.
Saw them
Yeah.
lose to the Netherlands.
But did you see
Unfortunately,
the fans
But
for the Netherlands that came out here full on flags. And
I had a full-on conversation with
wooden
one of them.
clogs. It
I had a
was the
full-on
greatest.
conversation with the guy with the clogs as I was leaving, and I'm just like, "This is the nicest guy I've ever spoken to."
Right.
Like, what is going
Our
on?
countries just battled it out and we lost, and you're just still the nicest man in your creamsicle orange.
He's sitting there talking about how great the U.S. played, and he was like, "Oh man, they almost had it. They looked so great. They looked so
It
looked so
really is
fluid." And I was
the
just
one
like,
event
"Dude,
that brings like the world
Yeah.
together. Like we have a cook from Morocco. He's fantastic.
Wow.
Mohammed. Love him. So we were cheering for the Moroccan team all the time. We would try to put it on somewhere for him. And, I actually just grabbed him off the line one day and I was like, watch your game, because it's so great. And we have our Ecuadorian students here right now. So whenever I would post on their page from last year, for the Ecuador games. And
once in 4 years. That's the craziest thing about it."
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Lisa out here, by the way. Lisa is managing with me tonight. She's got a shout out or two. And I was like, come join me, ma'am. So Lisa.
What, does she just expect you to
Come on
do the
out.
shout outs without coming out
That's
here
what
and
I'm saying.
shouting?
I was like,
No.
shout-outs,
Listen,
girl.
Lisa, listen. You got to come on out.
Listen, I told her, I even radioed her. I was like, Lisa, come out here. So we'll see if I can get her out here.
So you're on the radio twice right now. She's on the Dave and Buster's radio and on ESPN Northwest Florida.
I am double radio.
What can you not do?
Exactly, for
Triple
real. I don't know. You got another
I got
ear over there.
Walkie-talkie app.
104.3 Panama City, 102.1 Mariana, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. My answer is, and this is so tough, but the first 2 days, really the first 4 days of March Madness is just so special and it's so wild. It's mad. So I've got to start March Madness.
Boo.
I know. I'm mad at myself for putting these in.
Family
here.
Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
Got to start March Madness. Then I'm going to have to bench the Masters just because
Okay.
I know.
I feel
I
that.
know.
I
I'm
feel
mad
that.
at myself for putting
I'm
it
glad
just
you're mad
like
at yourself.
this.
I'm glad
But-
we're at other ends of the
But
table.
the Masters is just something that is man,
The pageantry.
yeah.
See,
I don't know.
I've been up there in Augusta during Masters week,
Uh-huh.
but it's just like because I've never. I am a fantastic mini golfer. I've never golfed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Never.
we need to talk to Nick.
Yeah, we're going to have to change
But
that.
I'm a great golf cart driver. I'm a great, enthusiast for whoever is golfing. I have a great.
There's not a lot of
tan in the
need for enthusiasm on the golf course.
But
Actually.
you know what? I'm a great golf companion. If you want, I'm not going to pick up. I did it in gym class. They taught me how to do the thing. I could top golf. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to spend 4 hours outside. I don't even like beer that much.
There's other drinks you can have, like water.
That would be costly to my. I would also need an Uber at that point. Like I can't.
Water? You get a little intoxicated off some water?
There's other things in the water. Yeah, I'm not going to drink water.
I didn't say ranch water or nothing. Just regular H2O, just
Who's
like
out
Bobby
there golfing
Boucher used to
drinking just
make.
water?
Was actually the last 2 or 3 times I don't think I've had any type of beverage outside of water. Maybe an inner drink headed to the
so
course.
now you're headed towards being an avid golfer, as which I am still not.
I really don't even know why I
You can do a whole
did.
18 without any sort of alcohol. I'm saying you're working on your pro card.
What's even wilder than that is I only smoked 1 cigarette, not in my last round, but in the round before that, I only smoked
Cigarettes are
1
bad,
cigarette.
kids.
100%, but
Good for you, though.
100%, but only
You were
one in
focused.
the
See, that's what I'm
18.
saying. You're on your way to your pro status. You're
Pro
not,
status.
We are focused.
You got to be able to break par at Nature Walk before you can even think about getting to the pro status.
I hate Nature Walk. It's all irons, and I hit my irons terribly.
That's it just depends on the day for me. Sometimes I'm a little bit better with driving. Sometimes I'm better with the medium game with the irons, and then with my short game, that's the funnest part of the game to me, and which is how they say drive for show, putt for the dough. Well, I don't win a lot of dough. I ain't trying to lie to you like that. But at the end of the day, I do love my favorite thing. It's a flop shot. I'll flop shot for no reason, which is the real high shot.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, well,
I haven't
you just
tried it because I'm scared of where the ball's gonna go.
Hey, if you thin that thing, it is going straight ahead. Exactly, a lot like that. Let's go to the All-Star games here. Start, bench, cut, Pro Bowl, MLB All-Star game, NBA All-Star game.
Okay, I got this. I am starting the MLB All-Star game. I am benching the Pro Bowl, and I am cutting NBA.
All right.
Starting the MLB because it actually means something.
It doesn't mean anything anymore, though.
They play like it does.
But they still...
I would say that the NBA All-Star game means more than all of the other ones because of the charity that they give
Yeah, but
out.
we've already discussed that I would rather watch hockey, so that's not an option.
Okay, fair. I mean, NHL. The reason the NHL's not on here because, in my opinion, it takes the cake of all the All-Star games.
Yeah, be all end all of All-Stars.
Yeah.
I'm benching the NBA, and I'm cutting the Pro Bowl.
The Pro Bowl means nothing.
I mean, they played flag football.
And they still didn't do very well.
It's the
flag football games.
NFL, the National Football League, and they're playing flag football.
Well, when you've got guys out there in full gear, like they're prepared to hit somebody, but they're playing. They're not even. They were hitting more in the flag football game than they were in the tackle football game.
Now, if you're adding in the week of festivities, the skill competition, to me, All-Star, the Pro Bowl takes the cake.
Pro Bowl takes the cake.
I love all the skills competitions.
But unless you add in NHL,
it's the whole weekend for MLB Pro Bowl and the NBA All-Star game.
See, I'm still doing MLB because the home run derby, like, you don't pack out a stadium for the slam dunk competition. You kind of do, but like, I would rather watch a home run derby than the slam dunk competition, and I'd rather watch the home run derby over any of the best catch what NFL's doing. Well, they're kind of fun. They're starting to get out and
But some of the ones that they
the water balloon throw,
yeah, like some of them are
so
great.
if they get rid of the trash ones and add a couple more that are like, hey, we don't know how these are going to be, but we'll test them, and then
how fun as a fan would it be to go to that? I'd love that.
Like the kick-tac-toe, none of the kickers even made one, did they?
See, and I think we should bring punt, pass, and kickback for all the kids that did that when they were like me.
They did that, but they did it with like linemen, like out of position type guys.
That's great. I love that.
Right, I love things like that because then you kind of get to know the players, not get to know them, but like what are they good at outside of what they're really good at. Like I would love to go up to hockey players and ask them, or even soccer players, like, what's your second favorite sport to play, not to watch or anything like that. I just feel like it would be right, exactly, and I feel like it would be interesting with hockey players because you've got them from all different parts of the world and to find out some of them will like baseball, some of the Americans will like football, some of soccer, all of that. I think that would be rather intriguing.
Hockey and golf would make sense.
And it was Luka in a
Happy
game.
Gilmore.
Luka in a game earlier this year. He gets the ball rolled to him. He kicks it up and just starts playing with it, like dribbling it with his foot, just kicking it up. And he stood there for a good 15, 20 seconds, and he's just dribbling the basketball.
I would have caught that ball and thrown it right at his face and said, "You do not kick this basketball around like that. Wrong ball, brother. Wrong
Basketball
ball."
has been manhandled.
One more start bench cut here. Let's go. Oh, I almost want to do the sports to watch, but we're not going to do that. We'll go to the running backs here. No, let's go quarterbacks.
Tight ends. Oh.
Okay, you want to do tight ends?
Yeah,
All right.
tight
We're
ends.
going Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson, George Kittle. I always call him Greg Kittle. George Kittle or Mark Andrews. Start bench cut, not
I
or.
am starting. I'm starting Hawkinson, and I'm
Ooh.
biased. I'm benching Kittle, and I'm cutting Andrews. I am biased, but what he did for the Lions was amazing. Going to the Vikings, staying in the division, I still think that he's on the come up where Kittle has already reached his plateau. So he's going to stay, I think, consistent. So that's why I'm going to bench him, where Hawkinson's on the come up.
Start Kittle.
I figured.
He is that dude.
He is that dude.
Just look him up, mic'd up. Dude just has fun. I am benching Andrews because he was everything for Lamar. Everything. And I'm gonna cut. As bad as it sounds, I'm cutting Hawkinson. I love him as a player. I love him as a what Iowa tight end has come out in recent years that hasn't been a great tight end.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I'll start Andrews in this case. Yeah, he's it's worked out well with him with Lamar Jackson, but I think it doesn't matter the quarterback with the talent that Mark Andrews possesses. So I'm going to start him. Then I'll bench Kittle just because of what he can do on both sides, or not both sides of the ball, but blocking and receiving. And then I'll sadly cut TJ Hawkinson because, hey, heck of a ball player. I just don't think he's up to the level of George Kittle and Mark Andrews to this point. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with our local high school sports spotlight in our final segment of the afternoon.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge.
Hi, this is Jenny Dennis from Panama City, and I just won $500 for Panama City Toyota in the ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge.
Three-pointer, punch it in.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Pepsi Big Bracket Challenge is sponsored by Panama City Toyota, PCB Hobby, and Buffalo Rock.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Dylan docked for Martinsville infraction. I'm Susie Armstrong. The story next on NASCAR Today.
Here's Howie Long for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear.
The world has gone hands-free. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now. Introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. You don't need to reach down to help your heel in. You just step into them and off you go. So what's the secret? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place. And they stay on just like a pair of laced-up sneakers.
Get hands-free slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
NASCAR penalized the Richard Childress Racing number 3 NASCAR Cup Series team of Austin Dillon for an L1 level infraction after last Sunday's NOCO 400 Cup clash at Martinsville Speedway, claiming that the team violated the overall assembled vehicle rules related to the underwing assembly and hardware. As a result, crew chief Keith Rodden has been fined $75,000 and suspended for the next 2 championship points events. And RCR and Dillon will each lose 60 points and 5 playoff points. Dillon ran mid-pack for most of the day, finishing 12th at Martinsville, and was 21st in the point standings prior to the penalty. I'm Susie Armstrong. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Final segment of the afternoon out here on the patio at Pier Park. Dave and Buster's. We've got myself, David Hayes, along with Drew Gorman, and the assistant general manager of Dave & Buster's, Amanda Muller.
One of these days, your name's already Dave. One of these days, I need to find like a Buster costume, whatever a Buster looks like, and we need to be Dave and Buster.
Well,
Next week would actually be like perfect because you know the following week we'll have Kyle back with us. So next week would be perfect just to it's the Dave and Buster's show out at Dave and Buster's. We'll take a hiatus from the Afternoon Underdogs for one day, and I'll get the pass from Randy just to call us Dave and Buster's for the day.
There you go.
I need to figure
and
out
then we'll get sued by Dave and Buster's while we're on their patio.
Look, he's telling you what's up. You're still wondering how to dress like a Buster.
You got your mic like you talk out of your nose right now.
He might talk out of his mouth.
I mean,
I've told you, he's like Beaker, the little Muppet. He just has a whole mouth.
All right, let's get into our local high school sports spotlight. That's brought to you by Barbaritos. Food, community, and people. Visit Barbaritos on 23rd Street. Tell them the Underdogs sent you. In high school baseball, Mosley taking down Arnold last night in 10 innings with a score of 5-2. Bozeman whoops up on Destin last night, 13-0. Wakulla Christian, that is, losing to Franklin 4-2. We've got Poplar Springs taking down Monroe in a close one here, 5-4. Mariana also a 1-run game with Walton, 2-1 in favor of Mariana. Malone beats Ponce de Leon 6-0 with a shutout there. Bluntstown over Cottondale 10-2. Rutherford beats Gadsden 13-1, and South Walton beats Choctaw 19-4. And now a break from tic-tac-toe as Drew Gorman takes on some high school softball.
From tic-tac-toe, she's trying to teach me how to say Bethlehem.
Oh, you never read the Bible?
I was like, let me help you out. I spelled it out.
No, I was pointing at the score of this game. Good Lord.
I didn't know. I'm like, what?
No. That's the one that you choose to teach me how to spell instead of Alpha?
Alpha's easy.
Alpha? See, we both went wrong. All right, so high school softball. We've got Freeport beating Walton 2-1. Bluntstown falling to Leon 11-8.
Leon? Oh, my goodness. You ever heard of a county in Tallahassee called Leon County?
No, I'm not from here. Sorry about that.
All right, it's Leon.
We've got Graceville beating Catondelay 3-0.
That's Cottondale, everyone. I'm sorry for these verbal typos here, but
He did not
hey, chill.
Cottondale, like jokingly, Catondelay.
Well, no, here's the thing. So Scott Richter back in the day would come on, and anytime he would be talking local sports with us, he would call Cottondale Contondale, and he did it on purpose. And so I've kind of carried that through. Leanne really started to continue calling it that, Kyle, then myself, and so Drew has picked up as well.
Can we reach out to their mayor to change the pronunciation? Cottondale sounds way cooler than Cottondale.
I don't know how the constituents of Cottondale would feel about that.
Someone from Cottondale, please reach out to me.
That would be
talk to you about your
cool. Yeah, if you're in the area of Cottondale or have lived there or know people who live there, let's start a poll. Contondale or
Would you
Cottondale?
rather be Contondale, Florida, or Cottondale,
next
Florida?
Wednesday on Would You Rather Wednesday,
we're doing it.
Cottondale or Contondale. All right, keep it rolling here, Drew.
High school softball still. Alpha beating Bethlehem 23-3. Holmes beats Mosley 23-5. Wow. Ponce de Leon downs Vernon 10-2, and Port St. Joe falls to Mariana 12-0. JUCO baseball, we've got Tallahassee falling to Gulf Coast 14-4. Chipola is 0.
No, that is in soccer only. You only use nil in soccer.
I've already said it like 3 times.
Yeah,
but okay.
I know. Goodness gracious.
Goose egg.
Chipola, goose egg.
You can say goose egg. All right, in JUCO softball, Chipola beats Gulf Coast 3-2. Same score for Tallahassee, Northwest Florida. Tallahassee beats Northwest Florida 3-2. Bonta and Benet, the Awantong sisters, reigning Class 2A District 1 champions. They clinched an automatic bid to the state tournament to compete in doubles. They're sisters. They're not even in high school. They're competing at the high school level.
Wow.
They do go to Rutherford because Rutherford, as we know, has expanded the grades that they accept right now. But the Awantong sisters will enter the state tournament as underdogs, but they also might be the first duo ever to compete in the tournament while both of them are in middle school. Bonta's in the 8th grade. Benet is in the 6th grade. This is impressive. I reached out to Coach Olds earlier today. Hopefully we can get these sisters on the show with us. The Class 2A FHSAA state championships will be held on April 26th and the 27th at Red Bug Lake Park, just north of Orlando. We've got Paul Feinbaum coming up next. We didn't get to the Braves game today. The Braves did lose to the Padres 1-0. We've got Jack Patterson out here with Wrestling Against Cancer. Hey, Jack, if you could make your way over to this microphone, got a couple more things that we could promote for Wrestling Against Cancer here before we wrap the show up. Tonight, we've got some big games in the NBA and in the NHL. The Atlanta Braves are off tomorrow. And tomorrow, since I've got essentially the same cast, maybe we get into Michael Jordan being voted the GOAT by a survey that Bleacher Report did where 103 current NBA players voted, and the consensus was MJ was the GOAT according to 58.3% of those current players. LeBron was the GOAT according to 33% of former players, and Kobe with 6.8%. Now, again, these are all current players, so for those of you saying Bill Russell with the rings, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all of these other guys that absolutely should be in the GOAT conversation, these are current players. These are guys that are, my age and younger than Drew, all of this good stuff. So they've got their own. Well, Drew is 2 years, 3 years younger than I am? Yeah, it's 6 years.
27.
Oh,
27.
See, look at that. I do that all the time. Once I hit 30, I was like, it is what it is.
Yep.
I'm just waiting on 35 so I can run for president.
27.
I can run for president.
Well, you're already there then. Giving away her
starting
age
this January,
live
I can
on the
run for
air.
president.
Jack Patterson is the promoter of Wrestling Against Cancer 8. Again, Jack, just tell us some of the things that we can look forward to here at Wrestling Against Cancer 8.
Yeah, next Saturday, April 29th at Bay Haven Charter Academy, Wrestling Against Cancer 8. This is my 8th show, and I do this every year for someone that's battling cancer or for their medical expenses. I just encourage everyone to come out there. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a clean family show, not what you see on TV. It's not going to be all that stuff. It's going to be a good family show for kids to come out and enjoy it.
It's going to be a lot of great matches. And what's the most important piece of information that our listeners can take home with them today? That the proceeds benefiting
Donna Duncan.
Yes.
She's a local. She was born in she lived in Southport when she was younger. Now, I think she lives in Springfield now, but
Shout out to the Springfield homies. That's me too.
She's a local for her. She lives here for her whole life.
Nice.
That's fantastic. What a great thing to do.
And come out next week and enjoy it at Bay Haven Charter Academy. I think it's 2501 Hawks Landing, I think it is. It's right there on Mosley and 389 right there. Mosley Drive and 389. Y'all just come out and enjoy that next week. Because like I said, it's going to be a great show. Tickets are $12. 6 to 15 is $8. And 5 and under is free.
Jack, thanks so much for coming out today. This afternoon, we got the $100 from Len Haven Rob. If any of you out there are listening right now and you would like to help Jack Patterson and more importantly than Jack Patterson, Donna Duncan here with Wrestling Against Cancer 8, you can text us at 850-215-6290 and tell us that you'd like to donate to Jack to help out Donna Duncan with her battle with cancer right now. And if you'd like to come out and see the show, man, we've got the tickets for $12. You can find more information at espnpc.com, or you can go to Facebook. You can search Wrestling Against Cancer 8, and Jack Patterson will be all over that search that you just entered in. There's no doubt about that. Go ahead, Jack.
I just want to thank Dave and Buster's, too, for being one of the sponsors, ESPN, and all my other sponsors. I don't have time to name them all, but I got more sponsors this year.
And I just got a text in from Professor Plum. Can they mail in a donation?
Yes.
Yes, they can. So where would be a good spot to send that to? Professor Plum, I'll probably do this with you privately, but we could put it on the air as well. What's a good place to send the donation to?
We can send it to ESPN. I'll be up here next Friday.
All right, so 204 Ellen Lane. Yeah, Professor Plum, man, it's been a while since I've been able to see you. So if you want to come up to the news station, you can bring the money by there, and then I'll hand it off to Jack on Friday. We've only got 2 minutes here. Jack, thanks so much for stopping by. Amanda, did you raise your hand as in you got something to say?
No, you're good.
She's like, I'm ready to get out of here. A couple of pieces of news here. So we talked about Michael Bunting and the illegal check that he put on Eric Chernak, who will be out game 2. Well, Michael Bunting has now been suspended. Wow. Draymond Green suspended 1 game for stomping, and I use that term loosely, even though that's what he did, but to me did not seem like he was using all of his force as much as Domantas Sabonis was on the floor for the entirety of that whole situation. But Michael Bunting suspended 3 games for the illegal check. Also, in the world of NBA right now, Ja Morant ruled out for game 2, and that is not good news for the Grizzlies, who are taking on the LA Lakers, who have gotten hot at the right time. And then also you've got Desmond Bane on the Lakers, who had a toe injury earlier in the year, so he switched to the LeBron shoes. And that's kind of an unwritten rule. We always talk about unwritten rules in the world of baseball. Well, the unwritten rules in the world of the NBA is you don't play. If you're playing against someone who's got a signature shoe, which there's only 22 players in the NBA who have a signature shoe deal, you do not step on the floor wearing the same shoe as your opponent. And Desmond Bane said, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to let pride slide to the side right here. I got to wear what I got to wear to keep my toe feeling good. So that's a very interesting unwritten rule, but here we are.
But yeah, if it's helping you and helping your game and your comfort with an injury, do it.
Yeah, there is no doubt about that. I'm hoping that I can get us out on time here. And we've got 20 seconds, so I did a good job.
Good job.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Coach James Hale Show is going to be live at 7 a.m. It'll run till 9 a.m., and the Afternoon Underdogs will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
FC Premier Professional Wrestling with the American Machine, Chief Little Bear, Mr. 850, and exciting women's wrestling with Raven Knight and T-Games. Saturday, April 29th, Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
Number 8.
At the Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City.